me, and welcome to episode 16 of The Weekly Whisper. I'm your host, Elian Habanero, and I'm here to talk all things 365 Pro Wrestling, and another huge, productive week it has been since the last episode dropped. Over 55 YouTube videos have been uploaded on the YouTube channel for 365 Pro Wrestling. Make sure you subscribe and share your favorite ones. It was kind of almost an all-ladies week as we had the huge podcast with the 21st Century Fox, over an hour long, the first full hour one. Usually they're around 10-15 minutes or so. So they brought back to you some classic ladies matches and of course some other matches, looking back at the history of some of the 365 wrestlers and the company before it transitioned into the 365 brand. And man, there's over 890 videos on that YouTube channel now. It's over a week worth of content that you can watch. But on some sad news, in British Columbia, all outdoor summer festivals have been cancelled. So that's going to put a huge dent in the armor of the 365 brand, as that is some of their bigger productive moneymakers. So please help us. The only way you can, really, is by subscribing to the YouTube channel, watching as much content as you can, sharing it with other folks so they can watch it, and try not to skip the ads, as that puts a little bit of money in the pocket for the future events that are coming up. And speaking of the podcast, there's been 3 new ones released. The one with the Fox that I was talking about, who is the first ever Elite Women's Champion and a 5-time Women's Champion. It was a great, well-done podcast. I really enjoyed it. There's 2 other ones that have dropped. There's one with Zach Andrews, and there's one with Lefty, the cameraman, who has some great back scene stories from being the cameraman for 365 and his take on everything. So make sure you check them out. They're available on Spotify, Google Play Music, iTunes, and of course YouTube. And get on them. There's so many. You can go back and binge watch them and enjoy, or listen, whatever you want to do. And you know, if you're cleaning, you can put your headphones in and do it. Or if you're going out for taking the dogs for a walk, be sure to check them out. Give these people who are trying to keep wrestling in their lives. I know it can be very upsetting for the wrestlers and the fans at this time, but we're going to just try and keep positive and think about the good things. Wrestling will be back. We don't know when, but when it's back, remember, 365 is giving you content throughout this whole quarantine process. And speaking of that, some of the 365 roster members are very fun follows on social media. Now, I have to admit, I only really do Facebook, but there's also, you know, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, so many of them nowadays. But which ones do you follow, and which ones are your favorite to follow? I made a top 10 list of my favorite 365 roster members to follow on social media. Like I said, I mostly stick to Facebook. So number 10, coming in at number 10, representing the Temple, CC Moss. She's a fun follow. If you check her out on Facebook, I'm sure she posts stuff on other contents as well. She's got her new Temple pup there, the Dusty Dog, and some of her happenings with the dog. I don't know what the word I was looking for there. Some of the things that they do, it's just fun, and she puts up some great pictures as well. She's a fun follow. And she will come in at number 10. Check her out and add her to all your social media platforms if you have not. And also check out a bunch of her matches that have been recently released. The ladies' matches seem to get a lot more views than some of the other male matches. So check her out. She's in high demand right now. Coming in at number 9. 365 roster members to follow. Sorry, man. I gotta do it. I'm putting myself. I'm a fun follow. I'm a mark for everything Elian. And, you know, on Facebook, I post matches that have been uploaded to me, and I also put lots of thought-provoking conversations and questions that get good topics of debate and conversation going and discussion. So I feel, and I put out the Whisper. Like, come on, I feel like I'm a fun follow. Maybe you disagree, that's fine. Give me crap in the comments. Number 8, somebody I recently started following is Zach Andrews. He's a fun follow. Him and his girlfriend Joanne Webster, who is a wrestler in training herself. Man, they just kind of have that relationship that I wish that I could have. I'm really jealous of them. They just seem like both genuine good people. They're constantly updating on ways that they can you can work out in quarantine and whatnot throughout self-isolation. And they're always cooking some interesting things and sharing I don't know, I just really enjoy following both of them, but I'm putting Zach Andrews because he's actually on the 365 roster. He's coming in at number 8. Number 7, I gotta give it to my boy Haviko. Haviko not only puts out podcasts, he also has a YouTube show about unveiling toys, a toy store that he owns, and he releases his own rap music. The guy is full of content, and then plus all the wrestling stuff. I didn't even mention that. Make sure you check him out. He's selling his EP, Beautiful Pain, now. Available. It's free for streaming on almost every streaming possibility out there. Just so much stuff coming out of that camp or that corner. Haviko was definitely number 7. And wow, what a long tag team, 365 tag team championship reign he has now. It's going on about 4 months now for him and Eddie Osborne, Havio. And number 6, rounding out the number 6 was going to be BMD. He does these motivational videos on Facebook. He's got his own YouTube channel, daily motivational videos. He's just a fun follow. He's really like the good next door neighbor Canadian that you can relate to. You know, your uncle that you like. Like, he's just one of those really relatable guys who's fun to watch no matter what he's doing, and he's got some great videos on Facebook, YouTube, I'm sure other platforms, but I don't go there. Facebook consumes me enough. I don't need to be going into any of the other ones. So now, we have made it into the top 5. The top 5 365 roster members to follow on social media. Cracking the number 5 spot is the Queen of Horror, Sabrina Kyle. She really lives up to her moniker, the Queen of Horror. She's constantly posting stuff about horror movies and stuff like that. She has great pictures. She helps motivate people in their working out and their keto diets and whatnot. And she's got great pictures of her family and her man and her dogs. And she's just really inspiring for anybody that's trying to get in shape and you know, really whatever their passion is. Like, she's passionate about horror movies and whatnot like that. She sometimes posts pictures of her collection and whatnot, and I just really enjoy following her. At number 4, we have 3-0 in 365. We have my guest, as well as Sabrina Kyle was my first guest, Joey Allen. Joey Allen is a fun follow. He's, I don't know if he comes up with these things himself, but either way, he goes digging in the crates. He finds the good ones, he shares them. Plus, he shares stuff about like his working out and some Japanese wrestling and his musical interests. And he's just a constant. I pick people that are very active. Some people, especially since the wrestling has kind of ceased for a moment, a lot of the wrestlers have not really been that active on social media as like that was their go-to thing to talk about, right? So Joey Allen has got a lot of content, constantly posting stuff. I did a thing on my old show, The Willow Show, of top 10 Ontario wrestlers on social media about 2 or 3 years ago when he was on it. So he's got a good streak going. And now we're in the top 3. Coming in number 3, Pretty Ricky Wildy. He's really fun follow there. He's just got the gift of gab, and any video he puts out is pretty much gold. It's pretty money, or not pretty money. Pretty Ricky is money, and he is in the top 3. I don't see anyone say anything bad about any Pretty Ricky post. He's pretty much got social media in the palm of his hand. So now, who's left? We only got 2 more left. Who do you think it is? At number 2. This may surprise people, this may not surprise people. Number 2, also representing the Temple, Tex Lexus. Now Tex, he's just, I don't know, he just loves soaking up the attention, good or bad, from the social media world. He's always posting silly things, but he's also posting a lot of videos of him talking and interviews. He's always on podcasts. He's always doing something. He's always giving Jacob a hard time. He's always being Tex Lexus as much as anyone could be somebody. And sometimes I shake my head at him, but at the same time, I just can't unsubscribe from him. I gotta keep watching. It's like a car wreck sometimes. But most of the time, it's very interesting and entertaining. So that leaves with a number 1 spot. Who could it be? Well, the man I put over many times on the Weekly Whisper, the first ever 365 Grand Champion, the old greedy bastard, Jordy Taylor. This man has figured out the formula for social media. Anything he posts is relatable. He gets tons of traffic and action on his comment feeds and whatnot. He's always got something up his sleeve to post, and he's always got something in the works. He's releasing songs. He's in the Netflix movie. He's taking pictures with his title. He's making himself in video games. He's just I'm really glad I started following him. I've not been disappointed at all. That's my top 10. CC Moss, me, Elian, Zach Andrews, Haviko, BMD, Sabrina Kyle, Joey Allen, Pretty Ricky, Tex Lexus, and number 1, Jordy Taylor. Who are your favorite people to follow on social media? Comment on my top 10. Make your own top 10, top 3, top 5. What do you agree or disagree on? That is my thing of the day. And I just wanted to mention also, if you want to have some YouTube show, if you want to sponsor The Whisper, we can make a deal very easily. We could do it with minimal fee or whatnot. We could put your business name up in the graphics, like The Weekly Whisper brought to you by this. We could take one of these shirts down for all I care and put your name or business here. I would love to collaborate with anyone out there and help get views for both of us, and it's definitely a win-win situation. So if you or anyone you know you think would be interested in being a sponsor for a show or collaborating with The Weekly Whisper, or even just 365 brand at all, get in touch with me. Write it in the comments, message me on Facebook Messenger, Elian Habanero, or email ctw52@hotmail.com. I'd love to work something out. As far as me, it hits hard without wrestling. I have to admit, but I'm good at staying positive and keeping myself busy, and I don't want to be down. I don't want to be miserable. I don't want to be mad or sad, so I don't allow myself to be. I just try and be happy. And one of the things, other than doing this Whisper show, that's been really making me happy, I have to comment on this. My guest on episode 12, my cameraman Cuba Jr. has taken a sudden interest in wrestling, and we've been pulling out the mattresses, and I've been training him in wrestling. Right now I'm so blown up. And look at the bruises on my arms. I don't know if you can see those from bloody headbutts. But it's been great sharing my passion, the thing I love the most, because I never wanted to push him into it. I don't want him to be me. I want him to like the things that he likes. But the light bulb just came on, and he's really got interested, and we've been having a lot of fun being able to wrestle at home. We teach him the proper way to be trained in professional wrestling, and man, it's just been a really good time. So there's always people around. It may be hard. You maybe have family members or a spouse or whatnot that aren't interested in wrestling, but this is the time to connect with people that do like wrestling. Talk to people, reach out. Like I said, some of the wrestlers are not been that active on social media. Maybe you should reach out for them and talk about that time you took a picture with them, or that one match they had, or ask them, how they've been feeling without social media. And you never know, that could really make someone's day. And speaking of getting sponsors on The Whispers, would you like to be a part of The Whisper? Would you like to be featured on The Whisper? Why not at this time? It's good to reminisce on the memories. That's why all the old videos have been coming out, to look back on the memories of what made 365 get to where it is today. So why don't you send in your favorite picture of you and any 365 roster member? Send it to me, like I said, Elian Habanero on Messenger or ctw52@hotmail.com, and we'll make a collage or like a slideshow on the next week's episode. We'll put up favorite fan pictures with 365 roster members, and it might just, bring up a good time that they may have forgotten about, or it's not currently in their database in their brain that they're not thinking about right now, and we'll add it to next week's episode. Or just comment. If you comment, I'll mention you on the comment corner. I'll give you a shout out. You could talk anything 365, any of the past 15 episodes. Just comment on the comment corner. I will quote you and shout you out, and that's a good way to get yourself involved with the show. This is supposed to be an interactive, and I understand a lot of people are kind of soured on watching a wrestling news show, that when there's not a lot of news to be had. But this is a show that I'm not doing, well, I'm doing for myself because I enjoy it, but I'm doing it for you guys, that we can do this together. It's an interactive thing. I have so many things, like last week, check out last week's episode. I suggested so many things that we could do to just keep the buzz going, and there's some great ideas there, and these things don't have a time limit on it. Even if you watch an earlier episode from a couple weeks back and you thought something was a great idea and that it's too late now, it's never too late. So get these things in. We can always go back and recycle and bring up things from the past and feature them again. And so speaking of that, here's a good one for you to comment on. I have 5 questions for you, the viewers of The Whisper, the members of the 365 family, the fans, the roster members, anybody that's involved that makes it work or is a proud viewer of 365. Here's 5 questions that you can answer in the comments. Number 1, who is your favorite 365 pro wrestling wrestler? Number 2, what has been your favorite 365 wrestling match? Number 3, what is your dream 365 pro wrestling matchup? Who would you like to see? It's got to include at least one roster member of the 365. It could be both or against someone else. It could be from a different company, from just someone else that hasn't been in 365. What's your dream match that you would like to see? And here's a good one. What has been your best interaction, whether it be online or in person, with a member of the 365 roster? Maybe you reached out to them through message, or you commented on one of their social media posts, or you just remember seeing them at intermission at the show and whatnot. Tell me what's been your favorite interaction with a 365 roster member. And question number 5, of the podcast, the 365 podcast, which has been your favorite so far? Let me know and why. Okay, so that's it for episode 16 of The Whisper. Tell me what you want to see on episode 17. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm so stubborn. Unless wrestling gets banned for life, even then I might still do it. But I plan on continuing to do this. It's good for me, and I feel it's good for people too, just to keep 365 going somehow, some way. And, don't forget about us. We're there. And so the only thing left to do is like, or you get a leg drop. Comment, or you get a clothesline. Subscribe, or you get a suplex. And of course, my new one, share, or you get a sleeper. I'm your host, Elian Habanero. I love wrestling. Cuba!